Hello, everyone. You are tuned in to Power Up with Pride's Winter Pride event 2021. I phrased that in an inc- incredibly awkward manner, but that is fine because what are we if not awkward? I would not exist. I got off on a tangent there and I apologize. We are we are raising money for the Trevor Project. Um and we have a a I believe a video game coming up. Uh, Crypt of the NecroDancer, run by Zello. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
I sure hope that's right. Hi, I'm Zelo or Zello, however you want to say it. This is going to be Crypt of the NecroDancer, a really fun dungeon crawler with some interesting design. I'm joined by two fantastic commentators and friends. If y'all want to introduce yourselves real quick.
Hey, I'm Kupioala, also known as QP because my name is impossible to pronounce.
Hey, I'm Ocre.
So,
Sorry.
so we're going to go ahead and get started here. We're going to be playing story mode for the showcase today. Story mode is the 4 story characters back to back. This game is a true roguelike and procedurally generated. If I die, that would be the end of the story run. For marathon purposes, if that happens after Nocturna, the first character, we will just play the remaining characters in order to complete a quote-unquote story run. But I'm going to let Koopy and Ochre handle the commentary while I focus for the next 40-plus minutes. So go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Alright, so Crypt of the NecroDancer, as Zello was saying, is a dungeon crawler. It's actually turn-based, where the length of the turn is tied to the beat of the music. So I don't know how loud the music is on stream, but if we can hear it, that's amazing. So, as any roguelike, there is some RNG to the game. You will find different items and try to complete the run. A run has
It's
5
not a very good
zones.
blood shop.
It has an axe though.
1 damage though.
You're a bat, you can get damage. So each character is going to have to complete 5 zones, and a zone has 3 floors plus a boss or 2, depending on the situation. And yeah, we're just gonna go through the floors one by one, and each character, there are 4 in this run, has specificities that makes them unique. So Nocturna, for example, has a spell that we can actually not see on the stream. We can't see all of the build. But Nocturna can turn into a bat, where she will deal 4 damage, but not be able to use the rest of the items.
Nocturna is canonically a vampire, so she can turn into a bat. She gets some regen from the bat form as well, because she's sucking the blood out of the enemies or something. I don't know.
That's what vampires usually do. Quick note on how the game works. It's made to be playable with only 4 keys: up, down, left, right. If you can move, you move. If there is an enemy in your range, you attack. If there's a wall in your range, you dig. Well, in the direction you press, of course. Then you can use items and spells or bombs with key combos, which would be up, left, so on and so forth, that you can remap to other keys.
Yeah, so that's how you see Zello has shift and space down for his things, for his alternate actions here.
You can't actually see on stream because the capture is a bit cropped, but yeah.
So one of the things about that, the consequences of those mechanics, is that a weapon with a big range, it kills a lot of enemies because it has a big range, but it also will hit any enemy in its radius. So it's not always a good thing to have a weapon with really high range, because then you can start killing enemies you don't want to be hitting. At first, that's just a bit of a time loss because you're killing enemies that you don't strictly need to, but as we get towards the end of the game, we'll see enemies that have some potentially harmful effects when you do hit them, and that can cause things to become awkward. So that is something we kind of call snag in the community. We are hitting those enemies which don't want to be.
Yeah. And one commonly snaggy weapon is the one we are currently wielding, the broadsword. Lets you attack 3 tiles in front of you. So yeah, you sometimes try and move and you just snag on the mushroom that's diagonal to you. So you have to attack before moving. Those kinds of weapons are safer but slower.
Yeah. So the general strategy for these types of runs is you will be going through the first zone fairly quickly, not getting too much in the way of items. And then once you get to the first boss, you'll get you do a flawless victory in the boss, which is when you kill the boss without taking damage and without dropping the beat. Then you can get a flawless reward chest, which are the 3 chests that you'll see in the back right here. The black chest has damage items, weapons, and armor. The purple chest has spells and rings, and then the red chest has everything else like torches and consumables and such.
That is a good shovel.
Yeah, the current build that we have, so it's base shovel, will just
big bombs.
big bombs. A classic.
Whoopsie.
So we have the base shovel that will dig only tier 1 walls. Broadsword that we mentioned attacks the 3 tiles in front of you. And the titanium modifier, the fact that it's light blue essentially, is 2 damage. On the head slot, it's Crown of Thorns. You see there's a countdown with the kills. Once you get to 1 kill and kill 1 enemy, you heal up half a heart. You see the hearts on the right side of the screen, next to the gold.
Yeah, and it should be mentioned that this is a very unforgiving game. You start with 3 hearts, and a lot of enemies, once you get to even zone 3, halfway through the game, can deal 3 hearts of damage in a single hit. And if you die, you go all the way back to zone 1, and there's nothing you can really do about it. Nocturna does have a bit of insurance in that she does have a emergency bat form ability, where instead of dying immediately, she'll go into her bat form. It does take health to go from bat back into human form, though, so if you're on half a heart and you get hit while in bat form, then Nocturna dies, and then from here it will only get harder as you don't have that backup.
Yeah. So the bat form, while it saves you, you'd have to transform back to human. The good thing about this is you can negate the damage from it by transforming on open stairs down to the next floor. So I expect we might take advantage of that in this run.
The stairs are kind of interesting in that they prevent all damage when you hop on the stairs, so that can let you get some quick exits from floors, but developers made that be any damage, not just enemy damage. So if you do some self-applied damage, like with blood magic, through either this bat form spell that we have already, or any of the other spells that we could find but haven't yet, then you don't take damage from casting those spells or their blood cost. And I guess I should explain that.
There we go. That's one of such spells. Yeah. The Fireball spell, which will deal 3 damage in a horizontal line.
Never the food shop.
Never the food shop. We see that travel rune that is pink and yellow. There are secret shops in this game that each have, how to say it, a model, a template. There are only so many secret shops that exist. I'm beginning at. And this one is the Pawnbroker, which in speedruns is generally not that useful.
Yeah, there are some more useful secret shops than others. One of them is that, they're divided up into 3 different categories based on what type of cracked wall they appear in, whether it's one of the weak tier 1 walls or tier 2 or tier 3 wall.
I want that.
Spell. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna take that.
The tier 3 walls do have only 2 options to choose from, and one of them is the Pawnbroker, which just lets you sell stuff. And then
the other one is the food shop. That is always a great find because it means health. Food heals you. And so we have confirmation bias in this community, and since we always see the pawnbroker when we want the food shop, say never the food shop. We saw one of the cracked walls and travel rooms on this floor as well. It was a glass shop. You can spot it by the green travel room. Okay, this is a shrine. So this game has shrines, one per zone. And this one is one of the very best shrine of peace. Honestly, I would try for a zap dagger here.
It's risky to go for. I'd rather just keep the war and my damage for now.
That's valid. So shrines can be activated or bombed, or activated then bombed, and they each shrine always drops the same things.
Nice help, monkey. Shouts to Goof.
Teleport you randomly, and anywhere on the level, and Zello just happened to get teleported one tile away.
Yeah, shoutouts to our good friend Goof, who loves taking telemonkeys.
Oh, we had an amazing one on Con Artist, the tournament that we ran today, where a telemonkey teleported a player exactly 0 tiles. Just vanished.
I don't think I've ever seen.
So yeah, and there was an urn on 4-3 and we did not take it because ain't nobody got time for that. Right, so we're already into zone 5. This is the final zone for the first character. Free falls, then the story bosses, because this is story mode, we're getting story bosses.
Yeah, with the one of Nocturna's other special traits besides the bat ability is that she gets a zone 5 room in all of her previous zones. So those were the pink and yellow floors that you were, or rooms rather, that you were seeing on the previous floors. But now in zone 5, it's just every room is like that because that's how they wanted to show off the new DLC content with this character. Nocturna is a DLC character. She's a prequel character. That's why she comes first in the story mode. And she finds the golden loot, which is the special artifact that we will see later in this run, because that is the main plot device of the story of this game.
One thing to note about the bosses in this game is they're all puns. So this one that we are seeing is Frankenstein Way.
Probably my favorite pun.
It's amazing.
Yeah, Frankenstein Way has 4 phases, each have 10 health. And so he's a pretty scary boss to fight. Dealing 40 damage is no small task, and he has these electric tiles on the ground that if you hit them, or if you touch them, then he'll take damage, and then he has shield generators, which you have to blow up, otherwise he will get a shield in the later phases.
Yeah, you can either blow them up or deactivate them by pressing the buttons, but we don't have time for that. We just blow them up. Right, and this is the conductor. We have this first phase where we have to disable the instruments, and the second phase we will have to disable the batteries, as you will see. But that is an interesting instrument choice, or order choice. Usually people go clockwise from the bottom left.
I usually like to save the Ocre for last, so just for safety reasons.
Alright, here's phase 2 with the 5 batteries. We can blow them up. Missing the
I had bomb charm. You know, I have like the one item that helps the most, and I forget I have it. That's fine.
Alright, so the way to disable the batteries is either to blow them up or to get an electricity art through them. Or ground them, I guess, with a water ball. And there we go.
Nice.
Good fight.
That is lovely. So that is Nocturna done. Second character is Cadence. Cadence is the base character. She starts with a base shovel, base dagger, and a bomb. And there is literally nothing special to Cadence. But we love her anyway.
Except at the end of the game, she will get 2 bosses, just like Nocturna. Most characters only get 1. She'll get, well, I won't spoil it, but she'll get 2 bosses at the end. And those are unique bosses just to her.
Right, so this secret shop that we're seeing here is a shriner, offers a choice of 3 shrines. Those are RNG dependent.
Yeah,
I want that regen, but fighting the dragons in story is a little scary. I'm gonna avoid it.
For the blood weapon.
Yeah, go down to half heart.
Team up. And
Yeah.
you would get the blood shovel for the blood shop on the next floor, because the blood shop, one of those secret shops, can only spawn on 1-1 or 1-2, and there can only be one secret shop per floor. So if you see a secret shop on 1-1 that is not the blood shop, you'll guarantee the blood shop on the second floor. And you did not take the hammer, and I am very disappointed.
That's my wife's favorite weapon, but I can't take it.
So we instead took a titanium longsword. Titanium makes it deal 2 damage, and the longsword pattern.
I can fix this, I think.
Yeah. Yes. No.
Yeah, there's water.
There's water. Is it enough? You can get it in the corner, right?
Yeah, I think if I can get to the corner. I might run out of time.
Yeah.
The longsword will attack the 2 tiles in front of you.
Ow.
Oh, the leprechaun is
Just in time.
leprechaun.
Happens.
That's what you get for not taking the hammer. With the hammer, you would have gotten him, no problem.
Koopy curse.
You knew what you signed up for when you invited me.
I did.
Yeah. If you have a big gold pile on the ground, the leprechaun will spawn, and if you hit him and let him chase you, he'll drop gold on the ground, so you can get more gold than you started out with, and then he'll drop a lucky charm, which protects you from bats. Bats are special in this game. They're the only enemy that moves randomly, and they're very annoying, and we don't like them, so we want to get that lucky charm. But Zello is kind of there. Let the leprechaun get away, unfortunately, so the lucky charm does run.
That's something I haven't touched on yet. The enemies all follow a pattern that is the same across all runs. You just have to learn it and choose the most optimal action to do on each turn.
Yeah,
And those turns are really fast, it turns out.
That was close. I got scared by the golem.
Yeah.
Thankfully I could tank the armadillo, but we're in a little bit of a scary situation here.
Friendly reminder to use your spells. That is one of the most commonly heard phrases in this community is use your spells. We see a cracked hole over there. It could be the food shop.
Please once be the food
For
shop.
once. That's a ton of armadillos though. Oh,
Yeah.
gee.
I don't like this bad either.
Touching on the previous point, this game is it's designed to be very fair. Really, if you ever die, there's usually something you could have done better, and that's something
Oh,
that
thank goodness. It's not a very
Actually, the
good
food shop.
one.
And it's the worst possible food shop.
Oh well.
The food shops will always offer a food item and heart containers, and the worst you can get is a food item that heals 1 heart and 1 empty heart container, and it's exactly what happened.
No, thank
okay.
it's failed.
Oh yes, heal.
Yeah, so Heal lets you make use of that bug I was talking about earlier, where you just can hop on the stairs and cast magic for free without having to wait for the enemy to cool down.
Did this.
And here's some armor to mitigate the damage coming in. Leather is the worst armor you can get, but it's the most important one. Just half one of armor is most important. Yeah. And we got a minus cap that digs the walls automatically when you are
Alright,
near
take
them.
darkness.
Oh, yes, you do now.
That's a mimic, yeah.
Now you have
Yeah.
to.
I guess so. Okay, we're taking. No, that's not even. It's not real darkness.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's not
Ocre
what we want.
spotted it because on the map you can see what is an enemy, what is a shrine, depending on the color, but it's not easy. Alright, you don't have big bombs this time.
That's fine.
Yeah, bye Freddy.
There we go.
You are a bro, but it's time to go. There are many ways to get items for free in those shops. You can murder Freddy. Yeah, this guy's name is Freddy Merchant, right? That doesn't get appreciated enough, I think.
And he sings. You don't hear the singing much.
Oh shoot, that is innovation.
That was, nicely handled. Yeah, so those Yetis that you couldn't see because they were in Nightmare Shadow was They deal a very big clap of damage when they move. So if you have 3 of them in a row, it's really difficult to not get hit.
Still looking for a ring here. That's not a ring.
Point damage. Survive.
Ring a region would be nice. But region-wise, we have the Crown of Thorns that we also had on Nocturna. We have the heal spell that we can exploit on the stairs, as the girl was explaining. Maybe we'll find some food, some food, some potions. And the 4th floor has pixies, which are enemies that can just fill you up. Think like fairies in the Zelda games. That's a good time for a freeze.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Just kinda...
That's kind of the snag thing that I mentioned, that you want to get to the stairs, but there's an enemy right there, so you will attack the enemy because your longsword can hit the enemy, but you want to go on the stairs, so you end up not being able to leave the floor, even though the stairs are open, because you can't make it to the stairs.
Let's talk about those green tiles that we see on this level. This is goo or ooze. It's the same thing, just different name. If you stand on those tiles, you will take twice the damage and not be able to attack or dig, unless you have boots that protect you from that. We don't have those, so we have to avoid getting hit on goo here.
Yeah, the one thing to note is that the goo doubles the damage before armor reduction, so things really hurt.
Yeah, and most things in Zone 4 deal a lot of damage, so if you get hit on goo without goo boots, you're probably going to die.
And dying is...
Oh, that's
not optimal.
Right.
We can also see some traps that we haven't explained. Blowing up a pixie. That's unfortunate.
That's fine.
There are spike traps. Those deal 2 hearts of damage. There are bounce traps, tempo traps. You can make the game go faster or slower for a short duration. Am I forgetting confused traps, where your controls are reversed for a small duration?
There are there's teleport traps.
And the teleport
put you in a random spot on the level.
The scatter traps as well, that just spill your items everywhere.
I'm going to explain what I did for Conga.
Oh
it
yeah,
looks a little weird.
You did an Azuma, which is a funny bomb order. I'll let you explain it, Oka. You're the expert on this.
So the thing with the Azuma threat is, if you hit Conga while he's off his throne, he will take damage. If you hit him while he's off his throne and the throne is blown up, he will take damage. If he's not off his throne, he'll just teleport back to the throne. And that strat relies on bombs, process things. It's not all at the same time. There's an order to it. So if you set it up so that the bomb will hit the throne and then Conga, then you can miss a beat to get him off the stage, or off his throne, because that's just the mechanic of the fight. And the bomb will destroy his throne before he's able to teleport back to it, and so it will also hit him, and usually that ends the fight immediately, but on that specific, this late in the run, Conga will have enough health to survive one bomb hit.
This is Derringer, the first of Cadence's story bosses. You have to honk the bells, and then lure Derringer to the gong. This went so fast. Using the Japanese strats, where you go to the left and then go counterclockwise. Then on to the NecroDancer fight. There's a stage with the NecroDancer, the golden loot. We want to get the golden loot to destroy the NecroDancer, so we're just blowing up the stage to do that, instead of using the buttons as the game intended.
Yeah.
We don't have time for those.
Yeah, we have a pretty active racing scene for this game, and one of the things that kills people the most is that Deadringer fight, and there's a lot of discussion all the time about what strats are the best and which are the fastest and most consistent and all that, so...
Yeah, not even showing yours, but marathon strats.
Yeah.
I like the play, I like it.
And normally when you're trying to go safe, you just have Deadringer run into the bells, because then they won't spawn mini bosses.
Yeah, GG. That's about a 10-minute cadence. Now, on to Melody. Melody is Cadence's mom. She was very sick and used the loot to extend it, I think. I'm not even clear on the lore there. So she uses the golden loot to fight. It deals 1 damage to all surrounding enemies when she moves. So she has to move in order to attack. That means a full surround is
Oh,
death.
wow.
Immediately, we just got the best shrine for Melody that gives a minus cap, the one that takes automatically the walls that are nearby. So she can pretty much not get surrounded anymore here, unless very cornery situations.
The golden loot is unique in that it's the only weapon that cannot attack an enemy directly in front of you. So if Melody gets into a spot where she cannot move, she will not be able to deal damage at all with her weapon. So if you don't have a bomb or a spell or something, then you're just dead. So Zella's going to be trying to avoid that at all costs in this run.
One thing that is also spooky about Melody is she starts with only 2 hearts, as opposed to Cadence and Nocturne's 3 hearts.
Yep.
So in Zone 1 there are many enemies that will just heckin' kill her. Thankfully we just found one of the very best armors. Plate armor, also known as Squagger suit. 1.5 points of armor. So now a hit that would deal 2 damage only deals a half. You can see how important that is on Melody. One thing that would kill you before finding it now is barely a quarter of your health. So this is much safer.
Yeah, one of the things about not having, I guess we didn't explicitly say this, but Melody cannot get any weapons other than the golden loot, and that means that her black chest pool is only armor. So that is, you can pretty consistently get the plate armor out of the 1/4 black chest.
Yeah, there's a handful of other armors you can get, but they're less common. I wonder if we were going to see the golden loot in the next game. I think not, because Cadence Survival that is coming up next is a crossover between Crypt of the NecroDancer and Zelda. And, yeah, some characters are in both games. I'm not going to spoiler much more. You'll have to stay tuned to find out.
I actually have this gluttony charm, and I want to try and find food to use it with, so I'm probably going to check a few extra crates for food.
Yeah,
You do have a ring of ham.
Yeah, the ring of luck. Grades most of your food.
Fake Freddy up here.
Alright, so this is a shop with walls that look wrong, because the shopkeeper is wrong. It's a fake Freddy. He's gonna be hostile as soon as you enter the shop. Try to kill you. Thankfully, he only has 5 hearts and is way easier to kill than regular Freddy.
I don't really want to use it on the carrot.
Well, ring of luck doesn't help with that, I guess.
A carrot will give you mapping on the next floor if you do that, though.
Okay, now I will, because I've got cookies.
Either.
That's fine.
Is there an official name for evil Freddy Mercenary?
Yeah, he's
Just call him Monstrous Shopkeeper. I've seen people call him Aderf, because that's pretty backwards. So yeah, once
That was
again,
wrong.
Death Metal 3. Everyone's favorite. Death Metal 3 is impossible.
Yeah, you can find the bosses in any order in this game. There's 5 bosses besides the story bosses we were talking about, and they will usually draw enemies from the previous zone you were just in. And Death Metal 3 is probably the worst because it has 4 beetles and kind of in the closed space where you're trying to hit Death Metal, so people generally do not like getting Death Metal 3 if they don't have an easy quick kill.
With the ice and fire that the beetles make, you can get stuck in water. Water, it feeds you for 1 beat. And yeah, that's how you get just bonked. Alright,
Hold on to that skull mead.
Okay, yeah. The scroll of need is really nice because it will get you out of a full surround. Because if there are 2 or more enemies near you, it'll kill all of the enemies within radius. So, or like just within one tile of you. So it can be a very nice safety item for Melody, especially.
many a run has wasted the Scroll of Need on the Zone 2 mushrooms that are in the start room. Because usually the Need Scroll is kept for another use. That is the potion. If you're at half a heart when using the Need Scroll and there are not 2 enemies around you, you get a potion. Potion will refill your hearts and save you from death. So yeah, Melody might want to keep it for damaging surrounding enemies.
This is very ugly, like a very ugly 4-3 room.
This might be a potion room. No.
It's 4-3. It would be 2-3 walls.
Is that how it works? Today I learned. So that's one thing with NecroDancer. I have nearly 2,000 hours in this game, and I still don't know everything about it.
Yeah, it's a very complex game once you get into the really depths of top level play. It's quite interesting. It's one of the things that has kept me interested in the game for so long.
So what we're seeing here... Oh, sorry, go on.
I'm trying to think. Blood cost for bomb is 1.5, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna blood bomb and just get the free potion.
Good idea.
Alright.
There we go.
There we go. Could have used the blood bomb on the crate. Get maybe some food.
Oh yeah.
So the approach to this game that we're seeing here is just speedrun, as is expected in this kind of event, but there is also a score leaderboard where you just collect as much gold as you can, and I would say our very best score runner, all categories, is Ocre, that is currently in this PC.
I would not say that, but I hope it was too good. Yeah, I spend more time doing score runs than your average bear, I guess. There's a lot of things to learn about this game, and if you, like, just the things to learn aren't enough. You also have to be able to use those things well while on the beat of the song, and not being able to think very much. So if you... That's good bomb. You spend lots of brain focusing on where, like, how the enemies are going to move, then you can't think about other more important things like how to move efficiently or making sure you don't die. So it's not just knowing where the enemies are going to move, it's also just kind of having almost instinctive level of, I know how these enemies are going to move.
Just interrupting you to talk about the NecroDancer 2 fight real quick, because it's almost over already.
Sorry,
Melody's story boss NecroDancer 2, where you are on the timer. As you can see, the walls keep moving closer and closer to the middle. If you don't kill the NecroDancer, you get squished and you die.
Alright, so here's Aria. Aria is Cadence's grandmother, Melody's mother, and she's terrifying. So she starts in Zone 5, because basically what happens is, in the story, that when Melody goes to destroy the golden loot, she finds her dead mother, who's Aria, and she revives Aria, and Aria has a dagger stuck in her chest, because that's how the NecroDancer killed her. And so Aria just pulls that dagger out of her chest, and we're going to use that dagger for the entire rest of the run, because Aria does not get any other weapons, and the dagger is very weak. It only attacks one thing in front of you. So Aria is one of the challenge characters. She also starts with half a heart, and can never get more health. And so she dies to one hit. Yeah, besides the potion. She starts with the potion, so you can get one free hit, but other than that, can't get hit. And then if you miss a beat, she also dies. And missing a beat here also includes trying to dig a wall that your shovel can't dig, or trying to use a key combo for a spell or item you don't have. So Aria is very mentally taxing, and if there's any time that we're going to see a death, it's going to be here, but I'm sure Zello can handle it.
Let me get these mages out of the way, and we'll check these shops.
I tend to be too spooked for the racer to actually commentate during Aria runs, so maybe if we have a couple donations, that would be a good time for them.
We do have a $100 donation from Freya's Spirit, who says, "For the amazing QED capture." And just to remind everyone that we are taking donations to raise money for the Trevor Project. It's a great cause, so get your donations in. Plenty of bid wars and incentives to put it towards as well. So,
Yeah, so here we see Zelda taking the Shrine of Darkness, which is the strongest shrine in the game. Seems a bit counterintuitive because it makes the whole screen dark. Gives you the Ring of Shadows, which makes it so you can't see anything. And the upside is that it removes all the torches on the walls, which makes it very hard for the enemies to see you. And it gives you a map, so you always know exactly where you're going to try to get to the exit. So you have fewer enemies to deal with, and you know where the exit is all the time. That's one of the main things that separates NecroDancer speedruns from just normal play, is you're always just heading straight towards the exit, minus a little bit of farming to get some items, and you are more focused on just going fast and not dying than trying to get a really good build or anything like that.
Speaking of getting a really good build, that's one thing the Ring of Shadows lets you do. You can just steal from Freddy. He can't see you.
Yeah, he can't see you, which means clearly that you can just take stuff and he won't care.
Yeah,
so
going for the
elastic.
ostrich strategy.
Alright, this metronome is really scary with darkness, so we're just going to take this super slow.
Yeah, Spike.
Well, that's like
and
the
we
flash
got
charm.
it anyway.
Spike is giving +2 damage. And the Frost Charm, that was safety, that froze the enemies in place when taking the hit, is gone now.
Yeah, so Arya does start in Zone 5, which I maybe mentioned, which is different from all the other characters. Every other character starts in Zone 1, but Arya goes backwards. So something that people don't like about Arya is that you have to go through Zone 5 with no items.
That's the
really
armor.
And that's, yeah, there's only four items Arya can get in her black chest pool because of her range of restrictions, and 2 of them are armor, but we did not see either of them. We saw the strength boost, which will give Zelda.
Either
ring
get...
spell, Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, this is the best ring to find on Arya, especially after Darkness Take. So Ring of Peace removes 1 enemy per room, each floor, and downgrades the mini-bosses to an easier version. So we have even fewer enemies to deal with, thanks to both Peace and the Darkness Take. This is an excellent find.
And Arya starts with just an internal effect to make her a little bit more manageable, is that she already gets -1 enemy per room. So right now, you get -2 enemies per room, and then there's no wall torches either, so it's very hard to get the enemies that do still exist to see you. So a much easier run. You almost never have to deal with more than 2 or 3 enemies at a time.
Look at this. This room was just about empty.
You can get rooms that are actually empty, and it's always very entertaining when you do with double piece.
Lovely to see good use of bombs. That's one thing that's really easy to forget. Okay. Alright, backing up to deal with the rider. That moves every beat, and since you can't drop a beat to match the parity, you have to back up and pin it against the wall, or throw the dagger. That is a thing you can do.
Like shop check.
You spend too much time around Electro.
I think you mean not enough.
No.
Alright, this is the most difficult floor in the game for Arya, in my opinion.
That's the fastest, and it has the hardest enemies. Zone 4 is generally considered the hardest. Nice empty barrel. It has a
That
monkey
only
in it.
happens with
Okay, there we
Peace.
go.
No, that's an Arya thing, because Arya can't get monkeys in Zone 4, so her monkey barrel just turned into empty barrel.
That's funny. Alright, we found a glass armor that is 1 layer of protection. We can take 1 hit. Still not allowed to drop the beats, but we can take 1 hit and still live. The glass will break instead of Arya.
Yeah, normally when you're trying to do a speedrun like this, you won't back up a whole lot like you saw Zello doing in that Zone 4. But since this is a marathon, we want to be safe, and because it was Zone 4 on one of the hardest characters in the game, you're going to be seeing some backing up just to make sure that we're not taking any excess damage. One of the most satisfying things in this game, in my opinion, is just walking into a crowded exit room and then just emerging unharmed as you weave through the enemies. It's very, very satisfying.
Speaking of emerging unharmed, we have a heavy glass now, which is like 3 glass armors in a trench coat. You get 3 stacks of protection.
Yeah, heavy glass is definitely one of the strongest items for Arya, just because it's so fragile, and it is the only item that protects from multiple hits.
Oh boy, that was a chunky beetle. So some enemies in the game can be upgraded randomly to be Lord enemies, where they are twice the size, twice the health, twice the damage.
Lord.
Oh, lovely throw fireball on Deep Blues. The king teleports upon taking damage if the pieces are not all dead. And it teleports on the 3rd row every single time without fail. And with that fireball that deals 3 damage in the line, you can just throw the dagger and fireball. That's enough damage.
Could be the translog. You could get the feat.
I could, but not right now. No, not the feat.
So, one of the things in speedruns is, well, actually score runs too, but one of the things in this game is that there are some foot items that let you move multiple tiles in a single turn, and they're very difficult to play with and very funny looking because you're just jumping around like a maniac and you're outpacing all the enemies, and everyone enjoys playing with them except for the fact that they're really strong. So
and they're really unwieldy.
Yeah, they're unwieldy.
I'm trying to think the best way to do this. I guess throw is fine.
Throw bomb fireball, I would say.
Yeah, probably that.
I would have
And you
fireball.
have shields.
Yeah, I'm thinking just fireball from here.
Yeah. Perfect.
We're actually coming up on the very last zone of the run. Zella has been playing this beautifully. We're in zone 1 for Arya, so depth 5. She's going to be having her last boss after these 3 floors, and then the run will be over. It'll be a very successful story mode run. So yeah. And zone 1 is generally pretty easy on Arya, just because there's more of the enemies from zone 1, so it's a little bit...
Gameplay-wise, it's easiest. Pressure-wise, with the nerves and everything,
Right,
it's so difficult.
But with
the
dark...
You could trap all day.
No, do not the trapdoor.
No, I'm not doing that.
Alright, you have 2 shields, your glass armor, your potion. This is the golden loot.
Yeah, so this is the artifact we were talking about that has been seen in every run, and Arya just kills it at the end of her run. And that was a really good quick kill by Zello. That is fine.
That is sub 40 time. GG.
GG's.
That is actually a really, really good time. I wonder if we can see the leaderboards on this.
Yeah, we can do that real quick. So
yeah,
where would that put me? I mean, I've got a 32 in-game time PV, which is pretty nice, but a sub 40 in a marathon, considering how scary it gets.
Yeah, that's top 50. Yeah, really.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
There you go. That would bop Goof.
Poor Goof. Yeah, I had a practice run right before this. Where I got all the way to this fight, and then if you get a bad spawn on the loot, the fire pigs are off parity from you when you try and adjust, and I fried myself right after I killed the loot, so I was very, very sad. So glad that didn't happen in the marathon run.
It has happened to all of us.
Yeah. Huge GG's though, that was really well played, no doubt.
Yeah,
pretty fast.
Oh, but yeah, that's going to be it for me for NecroDancer, at least this NecroDancer. You should definitely watch our own Kylaria next, do Cadence of Hyrule. That's going to be exciting. Get on that. Anything else y'all want to say?
It's
No.
okay to plug Condor events real quick.
Oh, yeah. Should do that.
We have a racing league for this game. We had an event later than today. We hold races, different kind of races. Could be different racer characters. Different modes, so on and so forth. If you are interested in that, the name is Condor League. You can find us on Twitter at Condor League, on Discord, discord.condor.live, and yeah. Make sure to stay tuned and donate for Galaria's incentives that are coming up. Yeah, that is it, I think.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I will be back for some Pump It Up for more rhythm game madness in about 4 hours or so. So if y'all like banger music like y'all have been listening to for the last, well, pretty much the entire day, you should stick around for that too.
Thanks for having us on.
Yeah. Thanks so much to Power Up with Pride, supporting such a good cause as the Trevor Project. That is lovely of y'all.
Holy crap. That was kind of amazing.
That was scary.
I am your host, Dijon Ketchup. We are still, we're still live with Winter Pride 2021. Got a couple donations